بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن lovely subjects which we spoken about it before, but as it is a huge subject, so always we're gonna inshallah build up more knowledge about it. I'm Dr. Lana Al-Sumaiday. I have my PhD and master degree and bachelor degree with Sharia and Islamic studies and thoughts, which alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, I just alhamdulillah finished my PhD, and my Sha'Allah book is going to be delivered bi'idhnillah soon, talking about the challenges which face the usra, the family in the Western life. One of the big challenges which we are today, one of it, how to practice our deen, how to practice our Tahara while we are living in this country. And before all of that, I would like to thank all the brothers, sisters, which they were behind this amal, this khair, this talk, which I inshallah pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that it will be sadaqah jariyah for them, because today we are always on social media. So the khair will spread and the shar as well, and the sin will spread. So inshallah I pray that all the brothers and sisters inshallah will have the same reward. وَالدَّالُ عَلَى الْخَيْرِ كَفَاعِلِهِ. Whatever you do and others will follow, inshallah you will get the same reward in the school of School of London for the economy and political science. So Jazakumullah khair always for this invitation, and inshallah always we are building the lovely relationship, the khair, and always inshallah wa tawasaw bil marhama. And I highly recommend that we have or we can take some notes if you like about this topic, because I'm gonna maybe add some new things which we haven't spoke about it last time, and maybe some things which we're gonna repeat again, and في الإعادة إفادة always, and always inshallah you are more than welcome to ask any questions or add any comments at the end inshallah when we're gonna go for the part of questions and answers. I always would like to thank always the people behind the screens, and which they are always sharing the khair on all my platforms, my YouTube channel, Facebook, Telegram, Instagram, TikTok, all these platforms, which always we believe. Some people will say, oh, you are using this, or we don't like that. We always believe it have the khair and it have the shar. And always whenever it depends how you would like to use it, you will get inshallah the reward, and it will always be khair. I always get an example with something very simple, which every day we use it, the knife. With the knife we can do our udhiyah, and we sacrifice the sheep for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we feed the needy people. And with the knife we can kill others and have crimes. So always there is positive and there is negative things for things. So we cannot say we don't want to social media, or we don't like this or there. We always can use it for the khair and so for spreading the ilm. And all these things which I say in the beginning, I would like to renew my niyyah and my intention, and all of you, why we are in this room here and why we are today attending this talk, which inshallah I will try as much as I can to squash many of the points and things which I believe is a huge subject, but I will try inshallah to work it out with a very beneficial way for everyone. Either they are brothers or sisters, although some part of it will be more specific to for the sisters and for the ladies. And at the beginning I would say that we renew our niyyah, as I said, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we count it as a majlis min majalis al-dhikr and al-khair. We are here not for show off like some people they think, because maybe sometimes the shaitan comes to your to your nafs and to your heart and say, okay, how many followers, how many people will share it, okay, this stuff, which really we care about it, because we care about da'wah, and we care about how many people heard this dars or this talk, and maybe we can push it more, or maybe it's less or things. So yeah, definitely this is stuff we need it and we use it, but in the same time we always bring the tawadu', the humble to ourselves, and we say even one person attend the talk, alhamdulillah, we came all the way, all of us, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not for anything else. But yes, why not? In the same time, if we can use the technology and the social media and even you as well to spread the khair for brothers, sisters, the youth as well. This talk, inshallah, I can say is a preparation for the holy month, for Ramadan. It's very close, inshallah. We are approaching the lovely 30 days, which is a huge madrasa for ourselves, and we can benefit from them. And I think the clever people, the clever brothers or sisters, which they can use these 30 days to increase their iman, knowledge, ilm, everything, and graduate on the day of Eid, not by wearing the new clothes or stuff, because everyone can get it very easy. Just go to the city center and grab what you want. But I think the big achievement which you have to think about in all this month, how I'm gonna be closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And one of the biggest things which we're gonna start today, why we are here, and the first slide we're gonna inshallah start with the question why we are learning fiqh. And the fiqh is the ilm and all the Islamic knowledge which goes about the Prophet and Al-Habib Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. How did he deliver this da'wah, and how did he practice it with the Sahaba and Ummahat al-Mu'mineen? And there is many things maybe comes up to our mind why we are learning fiqh or why we are here this day. And one of the important things before everything, before even learning fiqh, because some of you were thinking I will start immediately by talking about Tahara and water and things. No, I have to put the base, I have to put the pillars that why we are talking about this subject specific, why we are learning about the fiqh. And one of the things Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran and give us the answer, Inna Allah yuhibbu at-tawwabin wa yuhibbu al-mutatahharin. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves these people which cares about iman, about tahara, about ilm, about knowledge, and how we can be closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala without knowing how to practice the tahara or the salah or even the fasting. Loads of mistakes. I'm afraid, and I can say even with the ladies, even with some people which you think that you can take the ilm from them, still they can do mistakes by their fasting or praying or wudu or even ightisal, which is a shame on us. We are 2025, 1446 since the hijrah, and still people, they don't know how to practice in a right way their wudu or their tahara or their knowledge, or even how to read Quran in the proper way. I'm not saying tajweed or qira'at or this stuff. This one definitely for advanced. I'm talking about the basic. That's why here today, all of us, we're gonna refresh some of the big subjects which we need. And again, one of the things why we are learning fiqh, to be closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاء. And whenever you know Allah more, not himself, although this one is aqidah, but even about how to worship him, you will be caring about even the tiny steps of anything, or you will be caring about, you don't want to do any mistakes, or you don't want to miss this and that. So this one will let you always think about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, thinking about the ajr and the reward. Because definitely if you're going to do things mistake, or you're going to mess about, you won't get the reward as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised us that He will give us the thawab and the khair. And Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he say, Man yuridillahu bihi khayran yufaqihu fi din. So whenever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want khair for any human beings, He will give him the knowledge of the fiqh, and for the Quran, and for the aqidah, rather than any other knowledge. Of course, we care about the medicine, we care about the geography, we care about the history. This is the real Muslim, which you have to take everything, and not only to concentrate on deen, and you have to be, always thinking out of the box, and always thinking how to benefit your ummah and the others. But again, specific the Islam and the fiqh and the khair, we have to think always how to, improve ourselves. And I'm always surprised that, subhanallah, everything in life we care about, reading about it, research about it, ask the doctors, blah, blah, blah. But when it comes to deen, we take it from anyone. And this one really is very upsetting. Loads of people, when I ask her or ask him, from where did you get this fatwa or this ilm? Or how did you know that? He say, oh, I can't remember. I just heard one of the mashayikh saying this on one of the channels. Okay, what is the name of the channel? He don't know. What is the name of the sheikh? He don't know. Either we can imagine if, like, we are talking about our kids or about health or skin care or whatever. Do we just take it from anyone or random people? Or we care that we take it from the right person? And sometimes even above that or all of it, we still search and double check with Sheikh Google. And we cannot just accept anything. Why we are doing all this with the dunya and with the other knowledge, and when it comes to our salah or our fiqh or our ilm, we just take it from any people. Which sometimes any lady which she's praying beside me, I just ask her, can I do this? Or am I okay to pray like this? Or blah, blah, blah. And whatever answer she will give me, I will just follow. That's why this is the lack of knowledge and the jahl which we are living even now with everything we have. From YouTube, from books, from our mashayikh, from our ulama, and still there is loads of mistakes is happening. I'm talking, guys and brothers and sisters, about basic things. I'm not talking about the deep. The deep is for our scholars and ulama. I'm talking about the basic. Still, and as we are approaching Ramadan, and inshallah we care that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept it from us, there is still loads of things, and we don't know when we to start our period, how it ends. Shall I take a shower after that? Is this day counted? Is it not counted? Is my wudu here right or wrong? What is the adab or the etiquette of the tahara or entering the toilets or doing the wudu and all this stuff? So that's why here we are today. And always Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala advise us to improve ourselves by learning until the last day of our life. It doesn't mean that I have my PhD, that's it. I finished the ilm or I khatamtul ilm. Yes, I'm khatima for this ilm, for this part, or maybe I have to add more, but still there is loads of things is waiting that I have to still sit down. I have always to be prepared by my pen and my paper. Although we are taking our notes on our pads or phones or all these things, but still writing, putting notes, always reminding yourself, alarm, whatever, still like subscribe or whatever this sheikh or this alim, after knowing their aqidah and their path, what is it? Just don't throw yourself on any way, because these days there is loads of bid'ah or very extreme or things which can take you to a wrong way which you don't like it, and definitely it's not the way for our Prophet and our leader Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent all our prophets. Oh, that was the main, like you can say wadifa, the main subject, the main things to do, to teach the others. That's why we are following this path, and we are inshallah copying them by teaching the others and teaching ourselves before that. Even now, when I was trying to prepare some of the points, I was going through my books and my iPad and my things, and some points which I think is beneficial to talk about today. So even myself, I need always to refresh myself and to go back for the ilm and for the knowledge, inshallah, to give it in the right way for others. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always advise us to dua, to make dua, وَقُلْ رَبِّ زِدْنِي عِلْمًا. And ilma, it goes like this for everything, either for deen, either for dunya, either for parenting, either for health. Everything you are highly recommend as a Muslim, especially in this very challenge time and period of time, to know more and to have the right answer for others, because many of the outside, they are trying to beat Sharia or to beat us by bringing the shubuhat and the things which sometimes we are not quite sure about why this one happened for the Prophet. Why did he do that? Why this was this? And you have always to give the right answer, and especially what's happening today in the world, and we are all aware about, and there is no justice, and there is many answers. Where is Allah, and why Allah is not doing this, and we're still doing that? So you have always to be confident about your deen, about your iman, and be proud that you are Muslim before anything else. Although still we have people, subhanallah, which they are always, not sure about their aqidah and their fiqh. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he calls the majalis and all the places which we know the ilm and the fiqh, they call it Riyadh al-Jannah. And you can imagine by this door, we entered all of us for a place or a seat of paradise. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will mention my name and all your names and all the people which they are behind the screens and all the lovely followers from brothers and sisters. He will mention their names. Why did we cut all these destinations and way? What was our niyyah? And why we are this maybe 60 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever we counted for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we renew our niyyah that is only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as He gather us in this dunya al-faniya, inshallah, all of us, we might one day gather in Jannatul Firdaus, and we will remind ourselves by these moments, and you never know which moment may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala open the biggest doors for you with barakah and khair and sa'ada and happiness, which all of us, we pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah will give us at least the happiness and the peace in this life. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala divide the people. There is 3 kinds of people which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put them in front of the knowledge and the ilm. How many people were divided through learning Islamic knowledge and fiqh? Since not now, since all the Prophet has started their risala and their khair and their ilm. Before there is fiqh, yeah? I'm talking about the ilm and the khair, yeah? There is 3 kinds of people. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala let me and count me, you and everyone from the first group. The first group which they know and they practice. So they have the ilm and they practice it in the right way. Because we're going to go for some other kind of people, and so they combine between al-ilm al-nafi' wal-amal al-salih. So there is ilm, and they know why I'm doing that, why I'm wearing that, why I'm fasting like this, blah blah blah, and I have the ilm, I have the answer, I have the confidence. Which these days, some people, they are not sure why we are doing this. Why we are covering hair, okay, not neck, or the neck, not the hair, or why we are fasting in the beginning of the sunrise, and The second group, they learn, they know the ilm, they know everything, yeah, and some of them we have them in some universities, either in UK or out of UK, but they didn't practice. So they know everything, and they know the answer, but they haven't practiced anything. And part of them, the Jewish, al-maghdubi alayhim, they know, and they have the Torah, and they have the holy book, although it's not the right one, because there were many changes, but even they knew that they're going to be a prophet after Musa alayhi salam, and his name is Ahmed, and we have to follow, but they didn't follow. They follow what they want. That's why they are aware about the end of, what's happening now, and the end of the life, and what's going to happen, and the Messiah alayhi salam is going to come down, and he will, spread the peace. Everything, they know it. That's why they are trying to put their roots, but in a false and a bad way. So تعلموا العلم ولم يعملوا به. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned them in Surah Al-Fatiha, and we're going to mention that later. The third group, which they are the worst, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not let us from them, which they practice but without ilm. Like, you can say, ajallakumullah, like an animal. You just, what you would do, but you don't know why you are doing this. And some of them, which the people which they follow the bid'ah. So they're trying to bring things new in the Islam. Yeah, because we love Allah. Yeah, because we want this and this. but it's not based on any ayah or hadith or anything else. I don't want to mention how many firaq, how many, there is divide these days for the ummah, which is very upsetting. But Allah al-Musta'an, until the day of the judgment, there will be loads of challenges for this ummah, and only one will pass and will be, inshallah, to Jannah. And this, the last one, which they know but they don't practice, hum ahlul dalal, and most of them is the Christian, because they they don't know but they try to do things. And is it counted? I'm afraid it's not counted, because it's not built on aqidah or on iman or on fiqh or on ilm. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned all these three groups in Surah Al-Fatiha, which we read it how many times a day? Ahsanti. So many times we repeat this dua, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. الصراط المستقيم, without right or left, yeah, مستقيم. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم, the people which you bless them with ilm. غير المغضوب عليهم اليهود ولا الضالين النصارى. Yeah, so all these three groups mentioned in Surah Al-Fatiha. And we can imagine we just pray and we just up and down, sometimes even without recognizing how many rak'ah we did. Did we do it right or wrong? All the things, and the shaitan, subhanAllah, comes in this moment just to try to avoid us to be close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these all groups of people which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned them. And as we go for the other things which we're going to speak about today, why do we start with the subject of the kind of water when we begin learning fiqh? Or why do we start with Kitab al-Tahara? So just now I was mentioning the groups of people and how all the human beings, not only the ummah, not only the Muslimin, yeah, all the people which even you can see them out of this door, they are divided to these three groups. And when we want to talk about the fiqh and about the ilm and about the khair, we always start with the tahara. Why we start with the tahara? And maybe even some people, they don't know what is tahara. Even the vocabulary itself, they say, what's tahara? And before I give the explanation about what is tahara, we have to know in the beginning that we are gonna, before we worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, before after we know the ilm, we're gonna practice. So now I know the ilm, yeah, okay, I read, I did everything. Then I need to practice. So now it just comes from something theory to something practical. As we do with the driving, when you take the driving license, you start reading everything and then you go to the road, and after that you will pass the exam. I love always to give examples from the real life. But before, okay, how can I practice? I need to know what is the object which I'm gonna use in this ilm and tahara and khair and learning and be closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And all the ulama, whatever from which madhab or which background, they started the biggest books of the fiqh by talking about the water. Okay, what to do with water? Because the water, the pure water, which we're gonna give it a name later, it's not only water, is the object and al-madda which we're gonna do all our ibadat with. And then all our ibadat is gonna be accepted or not. Is related to this, subhanallah. Which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give the life for everything, either plants, either human beings, either animals, by drinking the water. وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ. And you can even not eat for like a couple of days, but you cannot stay alive without the water. That's why it's very important to speak about the water. And the water will bring us to another subject, as-salah. You cannot practice salah, which is the main thing to talk about. Before we start about anything else, if the salah is okay, everything will be okay. Either we are in this life or we are in our graves. So when we start talking, we will talk about the water, because the salah is the second pillar of Islam. although alhamdulillah we are very close inshallah to Ramadan. So in this blessed day in Sha'aban, and I remind myself and all of you, my lovely students, that to prepare so much for Ramadan. You cannot just try to start and bring your iman and khair in the first day of Ramadan. It will be too late. Start it from now. If you have any days to copy from last Ramadan, to know more and read about your fiqh, to know about your tahara, if there is any questions you are not sure about, and all this stuff before the holy month will start. So all this preparation, maybe to start to read random, maybe pages from Quran, so you can make your reading more fast and more quick and all this stuff. And because the salah, it comes after ash-shahadatain, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, it was the first things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask us about it. How was your prayer? How was your tahara? What have you done with your ilm? Did you follow Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and his ahadith and all the ayat which was in your hand? So for all this, we're gonna and all the salah is gonna not be accepted without being having your purification with the water. That's why we're gonna start talking about tahara. What is the tahara? And when you talk about tahara, it's very simple. It's nadafa, being clean. And this one when we talk in general. But when we come to Sharia or we come to fiqh, the scholars have bring a special, like let's say how we can describe the tahara. It's the removal of all the, can you put it on your notes? It's the removal of any physical impurities from the outside and lifting any impurities from inside. And it's very important here to speak about the outside and the inside, because it's very easy now that I go and just go for the wudu place and I do my wudu and that's it, and I can practice my prayer and do the salah. But what about inside? What about the lying? What about the hating? What about all this stuff which really I need to be clean from inside and outside? And this is the lovely things about our deen and about Islam. It cares about the inside and the outside, although, subhanallah, no doubt that there is people which they care about the outside, but the inside still have to have loads of work and loads of things. So at-tahara al-hissiyya wal-ma'nawiyya, whatever comes from outside and the place which I'm going to practice my salah or my deen or my iman in, like musalla or masjid, plus I have to care about inside, because definitely, no doubt that the inside will affect the outside. I can't say that my heart is, like white and I love Allah and blah blah blah, and there is no any effect to the outside. Yeah, so al-jawarih, yeah, all my let's say outside, definitely there is a link, what I believe and what's inside my heart as well. So by the water, we're gonna remove al-hadath, yeah, the impurity, either it's the big impurity, al-hadath al-akbar or al-hadath al-asghar, and we're gonna come and speak about it very quick. So this is how or why we started by talking about, before we start talking about salah and how to fast and what can be invalid and not invalid, we have to start from the base to talk about how we can be ready for this ibadah. Although even for Ramadan and for the holy month, we have again to have our tahara from inside and outside. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept our ibadah and our khair. That's why when we pray and we make our dua, Allahumma innaka afuun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anna. And we always ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for afu and for forgiveness. And how it comes, and all, most of people these days, Allah musta'an, illa man rahimallah, they don't give the forgiveness for others. We don't have the forgiveness between ourselves. How we can ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive us. So practice it yourself first. And try to beat your shahwa and your, dignity and all this stuff. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give it to you, inshallah, either in Laylatul Qadr or any other days in Ramadan. So I would like to, remind always myself about that the things which we are asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for, we have to start by practice it with ourselves as well. And when we talk about the water, we need tahara. We need to know about the types of water, because there is types. There is things which, this one you can see in front of you, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created, which we call it al-ma'u tahur. Yeah? Usually we say tahar, but this one is wrong. The tahar which comes in front of you, either juice, either tea, either coffee, which has been changed with something else, but it's still tahar. But either the tahur, which the taste, the smell, and the color. 3 things. Yeah? So there is 3 things which we have to concentrate about, and we have to make sure that the water have them to make our wudu with. Have you heard that someone have done his wudu with tea or juice or coffee, but still you can't drink it, and it's halal and it's allowed? Yes, you can bring it inside and benefit from, but you cannot do your ibadah with. So this is the difference. If someone can tell you, okay, this one you can, okay, can you practice your wudu with? Of course you cannot. So there is big difference between at-tahur, which like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created, which like the rain, the river, the well, all these still on the same color and taste and yeah, and how it looks. And there is at-tahur, which at-tahar, which have been changed. One of the things have changed, either the smell, but the color is still same. Like when we add ma' al-zahar, the water of the flour, which we add for some desserts, or like mahallabiya, or like for our kunafa or something. So it's definitely the same. But when you smell it, it's have a very strong smell. But it's still like a clear, and you can, even if you see it on the table or any other bottle, you cannot, sometimes see the difference between it and the real water. But again, we cannot do our tahara with. So yeah, this one of the important things which we have to make sure. And there is the last type of the water, an-najis, which the smell, maybe you can smell something like urine or something. Yeah, so the smell is affected, or the color, so it has been changed, or the taste. So sometimes you cannot smell anything. Still the you cannot see even the taste, the smell or the color, but you can test. By testing you can say, okay, there is something not right here. So all these 3 types of water is not allowed, is not invalid to practice your ghusl or your wudu with. You cannot have your shower in the end of your period, or janaba, or you cannot do your wudu with. So it means it will give another indication that you cannot pray then. You cannot touch the Quran then. You cannot enter the Kaaba to do your umrah or your hajj or whatever ibadat then. So it will affect the ibadat and the other things as well. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how we can know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala advised us for the wudu and for this purification? He mentioned it in Surah Al-Ma'idah. And he called all the الذين آمنوا. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا قمتم إلى الصلاة فاغسلوا وجوهكم وأيديكم إلى المرافق وامسحوا برؤوسكم وأرجلكم إلى الكعبين وإن كنتم جنبا فاطهروا وإن كنتم مرضى أو على سفر أو جاء أحد منكم من الغائط. I'm gonna come for that. أو لامستم النساء فلم تجدوا ماء فتيمموا صعيدا طيبا. So this is the ayah. If anyone asks us from where did you bring the wudu? Is it bid'ah? Is it right? Is it wrong? You say in Surah Al-Ma'idah verse number 6. The wudu has mentioned that. And end of the day, we have to say something very important, that not everything, every tiny things was mentioned in the Quran. This was one of the challenges and the things which these days some people they are not sure about. That okay, Allah didn't mention this in the Quran. Who said everything have to be mentioned in the Quran? Otherwise the Quran have to be like this big. Wallah, if the Umrah is there, if the Zawaj and the marriage is there, if the studying is there, well, then it will not end. You can see now the ulama, when they try to just to explain things, the books is like this. Chapters after chapters after chapters. So definitely Allah will not mention everything in the Quran. But in the same time, there is some indications. There is some words which you can say, okay, and then the ulama, and with the life of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that's why we believe the Sunnah and the Hadith and his talks was the biggest explanation for the Quran. In the Quran, for example, Allah didn't mention how to pray. He mentioned some of the times, like Al-Asr, Al-Duha, Al-Layl, the night, yeah? Al-Isha. But how to pray as we are practicing these days is not mentioned at all in the Quran. So from where did we bring it then? From the Sunnah, from the Hadith. So this one is a rule and an answer for you in all our deen. Who said we have to take mahar before marriage? Yes, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, وَآتُوا النِّسَاءَ صَدُقَاتِهِنَّ نِحْلًا. صدقاتهن. Yeah, as-sadaq, which means mahar. How much? Allahu a'lam. So not everything have to be mentioned in the Quran, although there is some ahadith, there is some stories which happen in the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in that period, and shows us. التمس ولو خاتما من حديد. Bring her even a ring. Not a diamond ring, yeah, which thousands. Ring. Silver even. Anything, just bring a gift to say that I appreciate this contract. So, and the examples is more and more and more. So just to make it sure that not everything is in the Quran, like even the type of the water, but we saw the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ or all his companions and Sahaba, and they delivered to the Tabi'een, the people which came after them, and then until this day which I'm standing here and talking about it. Okay, there is another issue, how we can make sure that the hadith and the things which deliver to us, which give this explanation is right. Who said it's right? Now, I'm talking, yeah? Each of you now will go out by this door and you might take the things which I just said in a different way. Different understanding. And maybe you say, oh, Dr. Lana, she said that. I didn't say that. This is your understanding, sweetheart. So, our deen is not easy just to, it's not a game, you know, so we can just take it. We take it from a Sahaba, the companions. At least 40 Sahabi have heard this hadith, which we call it al-hadith al-mutawatir. So 40 of us have heard something, no doubt that it will be wrong. If all of us now comes out by this room and you say, I was wearing a white hijab. All of you. So if anyone would say, she was wearing a pink hijab, you're going to accept it. All of us will say, no, this is wrong. So that's why anything in deen, we will not take it that easy. At least we have to make sure that this one comes from 40 Sahabi or maybe even more than that. So al-hadith al-sahih. And then after that, when we talk about why we are learning fiqh and why we started with the water, as all the scholars and the ulama, they started by talking about the water and what kind of water and how many quantity of water and how to use the water. Now the fiqh has been started, yeah? Slowly, slowly. So what you're going to use the water with? You're going to use it with wudu. You're going to use it with ghusl. You're going to break your fast. You're gonna wash any dirty clothes. And I mean dirty by najasa. You're gonna, even if a carpet or something was affected, you're gonna... So this one, the main madda and object we're gonna use. So we have to make sure that it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. And we have to make sure that we are doing our ibadah and our wudu and all our khair in something which is right and tahur. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then the result and the outcoming, that Allah will accept our ibadat. Because if you start wrong, yeah, everything underneath will be wrong. And it will not be counted. And if you start right, everything upon that will be right and will be accepted and it will be counted. So it's a big issue we are talking about today. قل إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين. All out my life and all our ibadat and everything is to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لا شريك له, without any shirk. No one is in the middle. And this is one of the lovely things about our deen. We don't need, my lovely sisters, anyone between us and Allah. Like some people, they are trying to push us for graves or for awliya or for qubur or all for these stupid things which they think we have to put them in the middle. Who said? Here in UK, we might be more closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by our niyyah and our ikhlas. قل هو الله أحد. Allah is one. Allah is samad. لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. By practicing our fiqh and our knowledge and our ilm in the right way, more closer than people which they are doing bid'ah and khurafat and all this stuff which haven't been even mentioned in Sunnah or Quran, even if they are in Al-Kaaba or Al-Masjid Al-Nabawi or Al-Aqsa or one of the religious persons or people which they have passed away. And you know exactly what I mean. We go there to pray and do and things and cry. Who said you have to do that? Our deen is very simple. More than have to cost you to book a plane and go all the way and then your dua will be accepted. رب أشعث أخبر لو أقسم على الله لأبره. Maybe sometimes a person which you cannot even count or see, if he swear to God and to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will answer him more than sometimes they think that they are close or as-salihin and doing some mistakes in ibadah and in fiqh. Wallahu musta'an. Based on that, on tahara, on wudu, on ightisal, on salah, yeah? So I think the circle now is starting to be a little bit bigger. We are going for things which you cannot practice, yeah? Or you have to avoid if you haven't done your wudu with al-ma' al-tahur. What are the things you must avoid and cannot done or you can do when you are impure? The first things which always we deal with and we love to read Al-Quran, Al-Mushaf. And as we are approaching Ramadan, always this common question comes up. Can I read Quran when I'm on my period? So there is two different things. There is touching Quran, there is reading Quran. So don't mix between them. So these days, alhamdulillah, we have our iPads, we have our mobiles, and most of us have uploaded the application of the Quran. Okay, can I still read it? Yes, you can read it. Because you don't need tahara. But when you want to touch the Quran, let's say touching or holding or lifting, you have to have your tahara. Or either you have to wear gloves or have a material or something. Or maybe when you want to turn the page, you have to use a pen. Not to touch it by your fingers. So one of the things which you cannot practice or do, مس المصحف الشريف, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, لا يمسه إلا المطهرون. المطهرون. So you see how even the Quran, when we try to sometimes to do talks for the non-Muslims, we always say you have to have your wudu, you have to have your tahara. or you have to like wear a gloves or something, or part of the Quran, not all the Quran, like Juz' Amma or one of the surahs, before you can't touch it. Because this one kind to show the respect for this book and for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the God and the Ilah, which He gives us this book, which is kind of talking to the ibad, talking to the human beings. And we have always to feel that when you are reading Quran, you are talking and speaking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And one day these words was delivered by Jibreel alayhi salam, and then to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, which he read it, and then to the Sahaba. So it's not something easy. When we read Quran, we are practicing something very, very important and big. And the other things which we have to avoid, as-salah. You cannot pray your praying. You cannot practice your praying. And this one is, this example is very clear when you have your period, because you are not impure and you cannot pray. Although there is maybe a very weird question comes up: can I pray? If I'm able to pray and I would like to pray, I would like to be maybe closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because if I will leave the prayer, I might be like feeling I'm far away. Can I pray? You cannot pray, because you need your tahara. You need to be prepared. And under that situation, for the ladies, not for the men definitely, although these days there is a big mixture between the LGBTQRSTUZ, yeah, and they are trying to let them to be pregnant and maybe to have period, and yeah, but again we are just saying Allah خلقنا من ذكر وأنثى, yeah. يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى. This is not from me. It's from Allah. This is Adam and Hawa. Yeah? But we are still sticking that the period is only for ladies, not for gentlemen. So the ladies, they cannot pray. Okay, if I'm able to pray, can I pray? Still you cannot pray. Okay, what about if I pray? It's not accepted. Allah will not accept it. It's not counted. It's not valid. And it's ma'asiyah, because Allah asks you to stop in this period of time. Even if you don't have pain, you are fine, it's light, it's not that heavy, blah blah blah, still you have to follow. Sami'na wa ata'na. We are just following what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said. Although we have different conditions in everything, in divorce, in period, in life, in understanding things, but again we go always for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which He created us as a human beings. That's why this one comes back to the ayah which I just read it to you in Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse number 6. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا قمتم إلى الصلاة فاغسلوا وجوهكم. So you have, as we said, you have to be impure from inside and outside, and definitely while this very sensitive period of time for the ladies after they have their puberty, she is not clean. Because there is something or discharge or something's coming out from the body, from the private area, which is not clean. Yeah, the blood is not something clean or nice. Even the smell and things is different. We come after about it, because there is difference between bloods and comes out from the ladies. But again, she's not clean, so she cannot pray. And to respect Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when I come to pray, yeah, I have to be prepared from outside and from inside. Although maybe sometimes I will pray in the darkness, nobody will see me. Yeah, but still I have to cover my awrah, I have to be on my wudu, I have to face the qibla, and all this stuff. And I forgot to mention in the beginning one of the important things, because we are talking about tahara and water, when you do your dua, one of the sunnah things, and it's more recommend to do your dua, you will be on tahara. So use the water, make your wudu, face the qibla, and ask what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala you want Him to be, or you want Him to do it for you. So the ulama and the scholars, they say there is things, preparation, yeah? And you can remember these things which I'm saying now, inshallah, when the lovely 30 days will come of Ramadan, when we are breaking all of us our fasting at the same time, all the ummah, and all of us, we remember our brothers and sisters, and all the lovely people which they passed away, and we would like our prayers and our dua to be heard, more recommend that you will be on your wudu. So make sure before you go for the dates and the yogurt or whatever, or halib or coffee, or every culture they have their own cultures for breaking their iftar. The main is the dates, but then after that is up to you completely. So make sure that before you go for the table, you have your wudu. So you will hit 2 in 1. The dua as-sa'im, you are fasting and you are praying for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't be busy with chit chat. And what is the sambusa? And mama put this in the oven, and you bring this glass. Just shh, make it quiet for dua. It's 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Whatever your wishes will come true. It's not because the birthdays and the balloons and we just think that, yeah, happy birthday and we wish your dreams comes true. No. Our dream will come true by making our tahara right, using the right way, practicing the sunnah, facing the qibla. See where is the qibla in your kitchen or in your room or whatever place. And ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you are feeling that you need Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Although you are clever, you are bright, you have everything, but we are all fuqara ilallah. We are the needy people to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And without His blessing, and without His rahmah and khair, we are nothing in this life. Many people, they have the same condition which you have now, but they didn't achieve, or they haven't done anything. Why? Because it depends on the barakah, on the khair. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala radiyallahu anhum wa radu anhu, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept you, and you will accept Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as the Lord and as the Malik. So you have to make sure that every tiny step of your life and your deen and your thoughts is right, to end inshallah in this life in the right way inshallah. Wal a'malu bil khawatim. And when we think about as well tawaf, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all this blessing. And inshallah next week, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will, on Monday, inshallah, I will be there. And doing the tawaf, you cannot do it if you are not having your wudu. And you are clear of your period. And you are facing towards the qibla. And you are, covering your awrah and all this fiqh al-umrah. It's not just we are doing things and yeah, we love Allah. Yes, you love Allah. You need to learn. You need to read. You need to listen. You need to follow. Our uswa, our qudwa, our leader, who? Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Although these days the influencer and all the people on the social media and other places, some of them shame to follow them or even to know them. But subhanallah, some of the Muslims, I will not say all the Muslims, they choose to put them, their model and their idols and their leaders. And shame on many Muslims, they don't know even when our Prophet was born, how many wives he have, when he was died, which areas or places he traveled to. They don't know even when say, can you read Surah Al-Ikhlas? They don't know what is Al-Ikhlas. Names of surahs. In Juz' Amma, we are not asking about big surahs. We are talking about adults. We are talking about ladies and gentlemen. Especially in Ramadan when they do some, interviews in the roads and with random people. Can you do this? You can find what kind and quality of answers our ummah is giving. How many prophets we don't know. But we know this artist, what was the last, why did she celebrate her birthday? And we know this, how many goals he have done in his life in the football match. And we know this one where she was going to travel in this summer, because we are giving them more attention and more important in our life, more than the people and the real people which we should put them our leaders. Wallahu musta'an. All this stuff you cannot practice them while you are impure. And if you are impure and we are inshallah approaching Ramadan, many sisters, they would like to attend the salah, not because she can't pray, because she's on her period. Can she just stay on a side and hear the qira'ah? Yes, she can do that, but not to stay in the real masjid. You can be beside the door or near the door, not in the real place. Especially with our masajid and our prayer area, they are very narrow, crowded. So really we need the places. It's not a time to come and just play, you know, games in your mobile or chit chat with your friend or disturb others. So please, as we are approaching Ramadan, this is my nasiha and my call to all brothers and sisters. If you are not ready to sit down and listen and be quiet and respect the salah and the dua, don't come. Because really we need this raka'at. We need this praise to be, subhanallah, close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I need to use this 1.5 hours for taraweeh or for salah for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not to hear your stories or you're laughing or you are playing with this game or mobile is, you know, the ringtone is music or things. So we need really to be prepared for this area, and one of the preparation to be on wudu and to be, you know, tahir, either from janaba after the intercourse or either from the period or either from anything. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تقربوا الصلاة وأنتم سكارى حتى تعلموا ما تقولون ولا جنبا إلا عابري سبيل حتى تغتسلوا. Unless you do your اغتسال, because we have al-hadath al-akbar, the big hadath, and we have the small hadath, and definitely there is big things. Definitely, as I said, it's a big and a huge subject. If you would like to go back for this stuff, you can go back on my YouTube channel to the lecture and the talk, which we gave it last year. I was going through all this stuff. But this year, inshallah, we're going to add maybe new things for the this subject. So this one brings us again for the place which we can use the water in. آداب قضاء الحاجة. Where usually we do our wudu? Toilets. Or either we do them inside the place of wudu, al-mawadhi. Yeah? This place, you can see how the Islam cares about the etiquette and cares about every tiny things. He teaches how to enter these places with the left leg and see Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-khubthi wal-khaba'ith, and to protect yourself and not to talk and not to hear musics and to be quick and not use too much water and just splash there and there. All this stuff you have to make yourself aware about them and follow as the sunnah and ahadith comes there. And we do, what do we practice inside the toilets or al-mawadhi? Either we do our wudu or either we use the toilet, and we do al-istinja, which is we use the water. And many people, they are surprised, why do we bring bottle of water in the toilets? Yes, because there is no showers or things to use. So we use the water first, and then we wipe with the tissues. Either the other people, sometimes they use the tissue, which, yeah, is acceptable, but, you know, to make it more clear, you have to use the water. So we have al-istinja, and this one part of the fiqh, and we have to use it, and we have to know about it. So al-istinja, using the water to clean after the number 1 or 2, or either al-bawl or al-gha'at, and we have al-istijmar. So either using the tissues or either using some clothes or wipes or whatever to clean the area, to make sure that this area is clean. Okay, there is a question always, and it's very common to be asked. Should I do istinja or istijmar before the wudu? No. Now I break my wudu, for example, for any reason. Either pass gas or something, or I slept, or I bleed, all this which can break my wudu. Should I, you know, if this one, none of these happen, should I go and do istijmar? Should I enter the toilet and do this? No. So it's not part of the wudu at all. You can go straight away to the sink or to the basin and just do your wudu by opening the tap, say Bismillah and start. So this one of the things which you don't have to do, because some people, they think that this one is related to this. No. This one is a section in the fiqh, and that one is another section. And one of the things which you have to be aware when you do your wudu, and again using the water and the clean water, which we call it al-ma' al-tahir or tahur. This one. Tahur, na'am, al-ma' al-tahur. So put this one always in your mind. Al-tahir, tea, coffee, juice, everything. Al-tahur, which you can use it for your shower or your wudu. So this, using this water, I come to the area of the, and I follow all the etiquettes, which we mentioned some of them. One of them as well, to not face the Qibla. So if you know the Qibla in the place, you have to turn a little bit to respect right or left. And don't give it your back, unless you don't have any other choice. Yeah? And to enter in your left leg, and not to mention the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and not to take longer than you should in this place, because we believe that this, you know, we can't say dirty, because you can keep it always hygiene and clean. This area will be the area for the jinn, and although many other things. So again, I'm coming to do my wudu. There is a shurut, there is condition which I should have. I will mention very quickly. Al-Islam. So making wudu from non-Muslim is not counted or valid or accepted, because he missed the biggest part, al-shahada. He didn't pray his shahada. He didn't even like still believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, there is no other God than Allah, and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is his prophet. So still he needs the shahada. And then al-aql. So even if I'm Muslim and I lost my conscience, or like some mental health issues which I'm not aware about what is happening, again the wudu or the ghusl, the showering, is not accepted, because I don't know what I'm doing. The third one, at-tamyiz. So our kids, yes, we try to teach them and to let them to learn and all this stuff, but again, to be real one, you know, and accepted, they have to understand tamyiz, which like 7 years old and above, yes. But like if he's 2 or 3 years and he's trying to do the wudu, it will not be counted as he's 7 or 8 or 9. So at-tamyiz and niyyah. So now, especially in the hot days, I want to just, you know, refresh myself and just, you know, put water there and there, and maybe I will do all the areas for the wudu, al-kaffayn, al-marfaqayn, the head, the ears, the leg, but I don't have niyyah, I don't have intention. So is it counted? Not counted. Majnoon, so he's aware about what he is doing, so he's awake. And they're very young, so they are still not even having their puberty first, but even they don't understand what's happening and they are not aware about. So all these, they are conditioned to make your wudu with the water tahar, with tahur, and with all the other stuff. I'm gonna jump quick on the things which they can break your wudu. Yeah, so you did your wudu, you have your Islam, aql, tamyiz, everything. The water is fine. There is no any other, barriers. But there is things. The first things to break your wudu and it will not be valid. Anything comes out or you pass it from either the front or the back. Anything like urine, like poos, like gas, like blood for the ladies, dam al-istihada or dam al-hayd, whatever. That's one first. Second, can break your wudu, زوال العقل أو تغطيته. The mind is not aware or is not conscious. So either I slept, either some people which they have epilepsy or this stuff. So this one will break the wudu. Why? Because they are not aware what happened. You might do something or break something while you are sleeping or while you lost conscious. So you have to renew your wudu. The third one is Allah musta'an. So there is some things with other madhahib. I'm today giving the things in general. I'm not following any madhab. But some of the Hanabila, they say eating the camel meat. So some of them, they say it's recommended to renew your wudu after that, because Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam he recommend for that. There is other things. If you touch your private area, is it gonna break your wudu or not? But the most of the ulama, they say it's not breaking their wudu unless there is a desire or for some other reason. And I'm gonna quick go for the menstruation, because this one of the biggest subject, and as we are approaching inshallah Ramadan, and I won't keep you long. In the last inshallah 10 minutes, we're gonna just summarize what is the period. It's a very natural blood which comes from any lady if she's normal, although there is some illnesses or things. We can, how do I know I have started my period and my fast is counted, because this one very important, and I need to I need to make it later. So this blood, when it comes in specific period of time, and there is a specific color and smell and conditions, this one will break my fast, will break my wudu, and even if I'm married, it's not allowed to have any intercourse with the husband, and not to enter the Kaaba, and there is many things. That's why the ulama in the fiqh and in the books, they mention it. Because some of people, they say, okay, why this one is mentioned? It's mentioned because it's related to your ibadah, and to your wudu, and to your ghusl, and all this stuff. So this one, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَيَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الْمَحِيضِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to Muhammad, they will ask you about al-mahid. قُلْ هُوَ أَذَى. It doesn't mean at all this adha or this effect will make a barrier that, you know, some ladies, especially the married one, they will say, while I will have my period, my husband even don't want to touch me. Even he don't want to sleep beside me. It's not like that. We are just saying the intercourse itself, al-jima', is not allowed. Otherwise, anything else in Islam, to cook food, to help others, to even to enter the masjid quickly to do something, or cleaning, or setting and to go out, there is no any issue. But subhanallah, some people always, they take things more than it should be. So it's a very natural blood, without any illness and things, and it comes from the womb, through the vagina, and it comes when the egg is not being, subhanallah, implanted in the womb. So it's something very natural, which you have it either you are married or no. Usually, it comes from 6 to 7 days, and after the 6 or 7 days, you are clear. How can I know I'm clear? There is two things. Either the dryness, so you have like more than 24 hours, there is nothing coming out, or the white discharge, which we call it, or the clear discharge, which we call it al-qussa al-bayda. So either you test yourself by some cotton or tissues, little bit press the vagina entrance, and you can see you might have this liquids, which means the womb is clean. That's it. There is no blood, there is no nothing. Okay, what about if something else happens, or you see some spots after that? Don't count it. Don't count it. Either you are in Ramadan or out of the Ramadan. So while that, you cannot pray, you cannot fast, you cannot touch Quran, not read Quran. So still you can do your khatma or whatever if you like, it's up to you. You cannot have the intercourse with your husband. You cannot enter Al-Kaaba for tawaf or umrah, or if you are performing hajj. She cannot do the i'tikaf or staying in the masjid, because inshallah we are approaching Ramadan. Many girls, they would like to stay 3-4 hours in the masjid doing i'tikaf, doing this niyyah, either in the night, either in the daytime. It's completely fine, but you have to be clear from your period. Okay, what is out of that, which comes out of these 6 days, in the month, these 6 days, before that or after that? Suppose if you have a blood, any bleeding, type of a bleeding, so definitely this one is not hayd. This one is not your period. So either you know your period by counting the days. These days, again, using the technology. So you have many applications which can track your period and exactly can show you, even if you would like to book for Umrah or for Hajj or do any plan, you can immediately go through these applications. Or you can, if there is no any of days, but you can tamyiz, which you can say, no, this type of a blood is not my period. It's lighter, there is no any smell, it's like my fresh blood is coming out. So this one is istihada. So this one is not counted at all. You can still pray, fast, intercourse, going for Kaaba, doing i'tikaf, everything is normal, except you have to renew your wudu with al-ma' al-tahur, with the niyyah, with the aql, tamyiz, Islam, everything which we mentioned, the condition, and with all the adab and the etiquette for the khala, but in every adhan. So suppose if I did my wudu in Salat al-Dhuhr, when adhan al-Asr is breaked. So if I'm sitting in the masjid or in the Kaaba, I have to go all the way quickly to the toilets or whatever. If you like, you can change your pad. If it's not need, there is no need. And renew your wudu. Because, okay, what about while I did my Salat al-Dhuhr and al-Asr, still I'm bleeding, it's fine. Continue with your reading Quran, continue with your Salah, continue with everything else. It will not break it until the other adhan. So this one of the very important things you have to, okay, if you don't have time, so you have to know what is kind of the blood, smell, color, or conditions. I don't know time, and I don't know even what kind of blood, or I cannot recognize it. What shall I do? We say go back before you have this condition or illness or istihada or problem, although you have to consult your GP, but in case it happens, especially in Ramadan, you know, always the period would like to play around with us. Go back to your history. Where was your period? Is it the first days of the month? Is it the end? Is it the middle? Count these days, take them off, stop praying and fasting, and then in the Maghrib day of the last 7th day, just take a shower. Even if the blood is still there. Take your ghusl, whatever you need, pads or no, but still you can see, and it's not your period, and you don't know what's happened, and you can continue your salah and your ibadah. But definitely there is something wrong. And some, you know, gynecologists, they always say this one is very dangerous because it might, you know, cause to be anemic and all this stuff. So you have to be aware about that. But just for fiqh and talking about this ilm and istihada, it's very important to know that you can do everything. And there is something very important for the ladies, as you know, inshallah, you will get married, or although you already are married, the talaq can't be while the period. So the man have to wait. Okay, what about if he did the talaq? Is it counted? Yes, it's counted. But it's bid'ah. It's not fair for the lady, because she have to wait until she get clean and then to start to count. So this one is extra days for her. So you have to go back and just to, you know, to make sure that she's clean and do the talaq again. So this one of the things which is very important. The last slide. Okay. What type of people can break their fast? Which is very important as we are approaching, inshallah, Ramadan, and we can, I think, end with it. There is 4 types of people. The travelers, as-safar, definitely it have to be halal safar. Because you know, some people they travel for ma'siyah, for sin, for something which Allah will not allow it, and you know, yeah, Allah al-musta'an. And marad, illness, so this one again is an excuse that you will, you know, you can just break your fast. Al-hayd, having your period for ladies, so this one definitely will break your fast. Or you might be causing a damage for yourself, either if you are pregnant or breastfeeder or an elderly people, or they have like cancer or diabetic or whatever. May Allah give shifa for everyone. Yeah. So all these types, they are allowed to break the fast and copy it and do it again as soon as the condition is clear. Some of them, they cannot at all, like the elderly people, they will never get better. Or some type of cancer, they will not be better. So they have to feed. They have to feed instead of these days. Everyone, like now the ulama, they say around 5 to 6 pounds. Full portion for food, you can pass it for the needy people, either in Ramadan or after Ramadan. Definitely in Ramadan it will be more rewarded for yourself. So try to do it as soon as possible. I have, mashallah, people from the first day of Ramadan, she say, look, Dr. Lana, this is for 30 days for my mom. She cannot fast and make it iftar. And we immediately pay it for iftar as-sa'imin. And mashallah, she couldn't, do that, but she was, the sabab, the khair, to break the fast for the others. Questions and answers. If you like any questions or any comments, anything we have mentioned wasn't clear, either on Zoom or either on the live video or on the people which they are in the in the room, more than happy to answer it before we end, if you like.
There were a couple questions some of the sisters asked me to ask.
Yeah, loud your voice so the others can hear you, Nasiba. Jazakallah khair.
One of them was asking, what's the difference between the mandatory actions of ghusl and the optional ones? So like, if you were to give us like a really quick breakdown on like ghusl after your period.
Yeah. So if you like to do the ghusl,
yeah.
What is the difference between the ghusl and the normal shower which we do?
Yeah. So
okay.
Like, what's compulsory in a ghusl?
Okay, you have to do things. First of all, when you are coming for this ghusl, the niyyah. So this one sharing with the wudu. You have to have your niyyah before doing the ightisal. Why am I going to shower? Is it just to cool or to just clean, or maybe you have scrubs and things? And so the niyyah, I want to restart my prayer and my fasting, although you can still do the niyyah for fasting and still you didn't have your ghusl. That's very important. You can, like, if you have your Tahara on Fajr and still you didn't have your ghusl, you can start your niyyah, have your suhoor, everything, and then shower. So this one is the first thing. The other things, you have to start by doing the wudu. So having your wudu, because you want to start the ibadat and the khair, and then make sure all the water comes to all your body, including the hair. So if you have like plaits, if you have something tied or anything else, you have to open it and make sure every hair got the water. So this one is a big difference between the the normal showering and the ghusl from janaba or from hayd. Although the janaba, the intercourse, because it's usually it's more repeated. This one is once a month and this one is repeated. So some ulama, they say to make it easier for the ladies, even if she have a plait, it's fine to leave it. Although I believe these days, all of us, we open and we have our conditioner and shampoos and things. But just in case, you can still keep the plait. Just make sure that the water comes inside it, squeeze it, whatever, and leave it as it is. So this one, and definitely you started by mentioning Bismillah inside your heart, and then after you end, Allahumma ja'alni min at-tawwabin wa ja'alni min al-mutatahhirin wa min ibadika as-salihin. Yeah, so this one.
Did you use any soaps or anything?
No. Suppose I showered in the, like say 2 p.m. and my period wasn't ended, and then I have to shower on 8 p.m. Water only is enough. Nothing else. Even before, they were using only the water without anything else. But if you add for it a shampoo, shower gel, conditioner, and things else, is optional. It's up to you. Yeah.
There was one more question. There was just a sister who travels quite a bit to get to university, like a different city.
Definitely.
Is she permitted to not fast, or should she still fast during the month because she's coming like 3 times?
Okay, if she had the ahkam al-safar, the condition of traveler, of course she can have the option not to fast, but then she have to make it immediately after Ramadan. This was something between her and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I believe fasting with the ummah, with all the people in this holy month, taking the this spiritual feeling and things is much better than do it after, because the time will be longer, it will be harder, it will be many things. But yeah, if it's more than 85 kilometers, like these days, at least it took her like 1.5 hours, yes, she is allowed to break the fast or not to fast Ramadan. But then it will be very difficult, if she want to drink anything or she want to food, everyone will look, okay, what's happening here, Although this one of the things I would like to mention, that is a shame, some girls, they do it, that they just go for coffees or things or food areas in Ramadan? And she said, yes, because I'm on my period. Okay, I fully understand. You are on your period and you are not being asked to fast, but still there is respect for the holy month. There is haya, there is, modesty, there is things which you have to, care about. And all places is surrounded with men and, boys, and which they know that, okay, she's not fasting, she's Muslim, so she should have that, things and condition. So this one kind of your privacy, and you should keep it for yourself, not as I'm holding a flag and I'm having my period. So this one of the things which really I please and I beg the sister, all of them, not to do it in Ramadan. Even this holy month, even the non-Muslim, they respect it. And they know what is Ramadan. And some of them, they love to break their, fasting with us. And some of them, they fast even and they are still not Muslim. So, see how others, count Ramadan. And then when we come and say, okay, I will still drink my coffee and I will eat my sandwich and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive me. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not asking me to do the fasting. Yes, sweetheart, I fully understand that. But still it's Ramadan. It's the adab, it's the, having this manner with this holy month. Yes. Yeah. Any other questions, comments? Yes.
If a woman's on her period,
Yeah.
is she not allowed to enter, to stay in the mosque no matter what she
Staying, yes. She's not allowed unless there's other thing. Like here in UK, in France, in Germany, and whatever. Our masajid is masjid, is madrasa, is center to, to teach Arabic or whatever. As a teachers, I cannot every month stop my dars or my halaqa and say, I will wait 7 or maybe 8 or 10 days until I'm, clean and have my tahara, and then I will start. And imagine all my students like that. So for this exception only, she can come. Of course, definitely she's wearing, pad and make sure it will not come on the carpet or on the chairs. So yeah, she's allowed for some exception condition if she is learner or she is a teacher to just come, have her dars, have things, and then just leave immediately, not to stay for chatting or whatever else. Or if she's a cleaner, so I'm working as a cleaner for the masjid, and I have to come, hoover, do and tidy everything and just leave. Again, this one is exceptional. Or maybe she's like a babysitter, so she works as a babysitting for the mothers while they are studying. Again, she's inside the masjid. Although there is different ahkam for us in these countries, because some is not masajid, they are like Islamic centers. So they are different. Yeah. Yes.
One more question.
Yeah.
On Friday here,
Yeah,
we
Jum'ah.
do Salat al-Jum'ah.
Yeah.
And it's not in the masjid, it's in
Musalla,
church room.
the faith room.
No,
It's that one. It's like
it's-
a hall.
It's a
Hall.
hall that we just use for Jum'ah.
For Jum'ah only.
Just for
No, no,
Jum'ah.
no. Like it's used by the university, but we use it on Fridays for Jum'ah.
Okay.
So it's not like an Islamic place.
Hanut Islamic place.
Yeah,
Okay.
we just-
Yeah. Yeah, you just hire it for Salat
Yeah.
al-Jum'ah, yeah?
And there's like a section where they pray and they put the carpets, and then there's chairs on the side. where
Ah,
the person
okay.
can sit. If you're on your period and you want to listen to the
You can
khutbah,
attend the khutbah.
You can.
As long as it's not masjid.
Okay.
As I told you, there is a big difference on Islamic center or like faith room or whatever. Even you have it here, which I just prayed my Maghrib there. This one is not masjid.
Oh, really?
So yeah, because it's musalla. It's it's not counted as a masjid, isn't it? It's faith room. It's called. Yeah, faith room. So anyone can just enter, do her homework, maybe have a nap, do something. Although one of the things which before I end, I would like to highly recommend one of the preparation before Ramadan, please. For the call is for all my brothers and sisters. Try to take ajr and sadaqah, inshallah, by looking after these places. The masahif, need to be, put it in a good way. Make sure maybe if you can hire the machine from any of the centers to wash the carpet. All the masbahas and things, maybe hang them. All the clothes of the salah, the prayer clothes, maybe you can divide them between yourself and take them to home. Wash them with the washing machine with conditioner and bring them back and fold them. Maybe put them in a box. So make all the masajids, all the prayer room is ready, inshallah, for Ramadan. And some maybe air fresheners or things. Definitely some areas I believe that they cannot open the bukhur for some reason or the fire alarm, but still we can put some, you know, type of air fresheners and things or oils or which can keep the place refreshed and nice for this holy month. Maybe we can just do it without anybody knows. So, يعني like عمل بيننا وبين الله, between you and Allah. Do everything, leave it in the best way. إنما يعمر مساجد الله من آمن بالله واليوم الآخر. So we will try inshallah to be one of these people which we care about these rooms and we make it the best inshallah place, even for the non-Muslim. When they come, they see really it's, you know, attractive, nice, peace, good, clean, and definitely the where is the Qibla direction is clear for everyone when they come inside. And this stuff, this one is very important as we are inshallah approaching Ramadan. So again, sitting down in these places or hearing the khutbah or some talks or muhadarat or like this, even if we use it for pray, definitely is exceptional and is allowed. Yeah, it's different.
There's one more question. If someone's on their last day of their period,
Yeah.
and they don't bleed for 24 hours,
Yeah.
and they make ghusl, and then there's a brown discharge, not like fresh blood, do they need to make their ghusl again?
This is what I mentioned. Why did you do your ghusl in the first place?
So does it?
If you didn't see that white discharge, or you haven't waited for, like as we said, if you go back inshallah, and it will be uploaded very soon inshallah to the my YouTube channel. If these two, either there is no white discharge, al-qussa al-bayda, or the blood haven't been stopped like more than 24 hours, you shouldn't do your ghusl. Just wait. Just wait, give it some time. I know some sisters, they are in rush, you know, because they want to catch their ibadah, their salah, their Quran, you know, if they are married with their husband, whatever. But just give it some time. Make sure before you go for your ightisal that really you are clean, really you are tahira. In case you did all this, the white discharge and this, and then after that there is pinkish or brownish, ignore it, it's istihaba. Which means the womb was clean, but then something come out and then it's out. So just ignore it, just renew your wudu and all the things, you can practice it as normal. Yeah. Any other question before we end? Yes.
Do different madhabs have like different rulings regarding reading Quran during menstrual?
All the madhahib, including the Shafi'i, which is very strict by reading the Quran, they say reading is different than touching. Some they say you can't touch, but I'm still not happy about that. So I believe we have to have our wudu even with touching. But only reading or from mobile or from like even if you are mashallah revising and you just would like just to read it by yourself or when you know you are in your car or something else, is completely fine. There is no any madhab say you cannot even read. And the things which I can easy tell you how did I take that or how you can take this outcoming, your adhkar in the morning, your adhkar in the evening contain Surah Al-Ikhlas, Al-Falaq, Al-Nas, Ayat Al-Kursi. And this one daily and kind of protection. You cannot say, okay, you will leave it for 7 days, you will leave for yourself for the shaitan. No, you can still read this unless you will not touch the mushaf. You are completely fine. Yeah, even the dhikr, istighfar, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, your masbaha, things, still you can do all this stuff in everywhere, in anywhere, even without tahara. And you can use your time. But doing tahara, being ready, I love that. So always you are ready. Either you want to pray sunnah, you want to read Quran, you want to sit in the masjid, you meet someone else and you want to like teach them something, you are always ready inshallah by having your wudu. Yeah. Any other question? Yes. Yeah. No, ask as much as you can because this one inshallah will benefit the others as well. Yeah.
Okay, let's say you're outside of your house.
Yeah, outside.
And once you're outside of your house, you see the sign that you're pure. Like for example, you see the white discharge when you're outside of your house. Okay. And then by the time you get home,
there is always this question comes up.
Yeah, this always like confuses me.
Yeah.
By the time you get home, you do ghusl.
Yeah.
Are you meant to iqdi the salah? Like, are you meant to make up the salah?
This one very important. Before we end, any praise in the daytime, which Salatul Dhuhr, Salatul Asr, yeah? And then you have your Tahara, you have to do them both. Any Dhuhr in the night time, in the evening time, Maghrib and Isha have is like a twins. Dhuhr and Asr together, so you will do them together. Maghrib and Isha, you will do them together. So always you have to keep in your mind that even I wasn't clean in Salat al-Dhuhr, for some reason, I was having my udhr, it's completely fine to do it with the Asr. So you will do them together. What about if I have my period already, Al-Asr is adhan, I have to make up it after I do my ightisal. The Asr which I miss it before I have my period. Where this Asr will go, or Maghrib, or Fajr, or... Yeah? So the adhan was happened, let's say 3:30 for Asr, example, yeah? I didn't pray immediately, for some reason. I delayed it. And when I just entered after 1 hour and a half, oh dear, I have my period. Okay, this salah, where it will go? It will jump until you will have your tahara, then you have to do it again. And this one of the big mistakes which those, oh yarhamukallah, which those of sisters, they don't do it. That salah is khalas, yarhamukallah. They just forget about it, they don't do it. This one will be like a loan. You have to do it with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you have to complete it until inshallah. And one of the things I was expecting you to ask me, and this one inshallah we will end it with that. If I have my tuhur and I was outside the house and I couldn't do ightisal, should I pray? Can I pray? There is takhfif al-tahara. You can go and do wudu and pray and then go back and do your ightisal and copy the praise. So this one of the conditions which we can face it. I was outside, I couldn't do a shower, already I'm clean. Okay, dhuhr is done, asr is gone. Okay, what shall I do? You make your wudu, do the prayer in the meantime, and then when you go home, do your full ghusl and make them again. So you do them in the right time. Don't just miss them, and then after that you can just do them in the right way, rather than, or maybe you can do tayammum. If there is a dust or somewhere, you can do your tayammum. Do your tayammum. Pray them, and then after that do your ightisal.
There was one more question.
Yeah.
One of the sisters asked, in the 24 hours that you wait
Yeah.
between the dryness,
Yeah.
and you make ightisal
Yeah, after that.
do you have to make up those prayers?
No, because still you are in doubt. You are shak. There is any sign to show I might have again bleeding. I might have nothing.
Okay.
So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is related to the period. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not ask you for that because still you are not sure. Yeah, until definitely 24 hours is gone, that's it. Do your ightisal, say Bismillah, and that's it. You are not asked to do anything else. Yeah, unless you do it in the evening time, of course, as I mentioned, that Maghrib and Isha. So you start with Maghrib and Isha. Or the 24 hours ended with Asr, I have to do Dhuhr and Asr. So this one goes all the way, the qaida. Yeah? جزاكم الله خير بارك الله فيكم سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك ربي وأتوب إليه. We always end as sunnah with Surah Al-Asr. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. جزاكم الله خير for your patience and having the sabr until we end it. Barakallahu fikum always. I will always say it's a huge subject. We cannot cover everything, but we are trying every time to have some flowers from this inshallah garden. And inshallah I always highly recommend to share it for brothers, sisters, all of us. We need this knowledge and this ilm either for ourselves, for our ladies in our family, even if he's a man, he will need it for his sisters, his mothers, his wife in the future, inshallah. And inshallah, always share and khair. So always, inshallah, you are more than welcome to share it for everyone. And it will be, inshallah, uploaded to my YouTube channel. Subscribe always. If you have any question later, pass it to my lovely admin, Nasiba. I'm more than welcome to answer it and give you the answer back via WhatsApp or all our groups. سبحانك اللهم بحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك ربي وأتوب إليك والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.